crop production and management.
Introduction. You have seen earlier what are crops and the different types of crops grown in India. However, there are various tasks involved in cultivating crops. These are preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting, storage. These tasks are called agricultural practices. Preparation of soil. Before sowing the seed, the first and foremost step is to prepare the soil for a good yield. Turning and loosening of soil is very important for cultivation of crops. Loosened soil allows the roots to penetrate deeper into the soil and even breathe easily. Soil contains minerals, air, water, and a few living organisms like earthworms and microbes. Loosened soil helps the growth of these soil organisms, which in turn also helps loosen more soil. These soil organisms also decompose the remains of dead plants and animals. Thus, the nutrients stored in these dead organisms are returned back to the soil and are available for the plants to absorb for their growth. Thus, it is important that the top layer of the soil that provides nutrients is turned and loosened properly to make these nutrients available for the growth of plants. Plowing or tilling. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called plowing or tilling. Plows are made of wood or iron and are used for plowing. If the soil is very dry, it needs to be watered before plowing. Sometimes manure may also be added to the soil before plowing. This helps in proper mixing of the manure with the soil. The plowed field may have big pieces of soil called crumbs. It is necessary to break these crumbs with a plank so that the field is leveled for sowing as well as for irrigation purposes. A leveler is used for leveling the field. Agricultural implements used for plowing. The main instruments used for plowing are plow, hoe, and cultivator. Since ancient times, a plow is being used for tilling the soil, scraping the soil, removing weeds, and for adding fertilizers to the crops. The plow was made of wood in the early days, but is now being replaced by iron plows. It is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals like horses or camels. A plow contains a strong triangular iron strip called plowshare. A long log of wood, which is called as plow shaft, is the main part of the plow. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on the bull's necks. A hoe is a simple tool used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil and is pulled by animals. It has a long rod of wood or iron and a strong, broad and bent plate of iron which works like a blade is fixed to one of its ends. In recent time, ploughing is done by a tractor-driven cultivator which saves both labor and time. Sowing. Before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to check the quality of the seeds. Good quality seeds are clean and healthy seeds of a good variety. Farmers prefer to use seeds that give a high yield. But how can he differentiate between healthy seeds and damaged seeds? Damaged seeds become hollow and are lighter and will float if immersed in water. This method can be used by farmers to check the quality of seeds. While sowing seeds, the following points should be kept in mind. It is important to maintain appropriate distance between the seeds to prevent overcrowding. This also allows the plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients, and water from the soil. Tools used for sowing. Traditionally, farmers used a funnel-shaped tool attached to several 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends that pierce into the soil. The seeds are passed from the funnel through the pipes and placed into the soil. Nowadays, a seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. The seed drill sows the seeds uniformly and at proper distances and depths, and even ensures that the seeds are covered with soil after sowing to prevent damage by birds. Using a drill to sow also saves time and labor. Let us summarize what you all learned today. It is necessary to prepare the soil by tilling and leveling the soil for a good yield. Plows, hoes, tractor-driven cultivators and levelers are used for plowing and tilling. Good variety of seeds is sown after selection of healthy seeds. Sowing of seeds at appropriate depths and distances gives good yield. Sowing is done by seed drills.